Unfortunately, it's another bit of a Just Eat rant today. So, I feel like Just Eat now actually really do not care about our health and safety whatsoever. I got two stories for you. One has just happened to me, and one from somebody shared it with me about a few weeks ago. So I just had a Subway order going to an address in a block of flats. So the address was for number 27. So I went to number 27. The guy opened the door, clearly intoxicated. It was a Subway order, so it didn't matter about him being intoxicated or whatever. But I asked him for the code. Couldn't confirm the code. I asked him for the last 4 digits of his number. Still didn't work. This has been going on for about 5-6 minutes. He was getting agitated and annoyed. In the end, he went, actually, like, took the order off me, slammed the door in my face. I was like, okay, fair enough, and left. What can I do? I'm not going to go banging on his door and try to get the order back. Anyway, I leave the property, leave the flats out the front door, and somebody chases after me. Oi, oi, where's my order? Where's my order? I said, well, I've just delivered it on order to number 27. She was like, oh my God, they've done it again. I told Just Eat our address is 33. What the, blah, blah, blah. As you can imagine, goes on and on and on. All this swearing, shouting, screaming in the street. And she's like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? And then I could hear her husband in there going absolutely insane. I was like, well, what can I do? You know, like, the address is wrong. She's like, well, I told them that it was 33. I told them. I said, I'm really sorry, you're going to have to take it up with them. And in the end, I literally had to basically run away because they were just all over the place. And I could hear that he was getting really irate in there. So, anyway, obviously I've spoken to Just Eat support. I'll share the conversation. And, yeah. They just said, noted, basically. So apparently it's been going on for ages. Apparently this man's been getting their food for like weeks. And he's just been eating it and then not answering his door. Apparently they've told them. And this is not the first time that I've heard of this with Just Eat as well. With them giving wrong addresses out. And not, or like, you know, the address being wrong, the customer trying to correct it and not being able to. Like, it's beggars belief. And the other one is nearly as well, it's just as bad. It just didn't happen to me. So another guy that I know, he had an alcohol delivery, and he had he arrived at the customer's address. The customer basically said, here's my ID. So he put in what was on the ID exactly, and it said it didn't match, which obviously at this point you're not allowed to hand over the food. There was then a bit of a back and forth, and the guy basically said, I'm not sharing my date of birth with Just Eat. I don't want to put it into their system. But obviously then you have to take the alcohol back to the shop, don't you? At this point, the guy, again, the same as what happened to me, the guy literally just ripped out the courier's hand. And that was that. You know, like he wasn't going to give it back. So apparently the courier in mind, he contacted Just Eat, and they said you need to take the order back to the shop, or you'll face deactivation. You'll face deactivation. So what are they expecting him to do? Go back into that person's house and forcibly take the alcohol back? So in the end, this driver, he's a bicycle rider, he went and bought a bottle of vodka to replace it, and took it back to the shop before completing his second order. Like, honestly, like, Just Eat, it's just, like, you know, we've had problems with their app being a bit of a mess and whatever, you know, general problems with them not paying the waiting time, you know, like, at Christmas, they didn't pay people properly, and, like, that caused an issue. But there's been bits and dribs and drabs, but now it's getting to the point where actually people's safety is being called into question, and they don't care. They don't. Their attitude is sort it out yourselves, and you know, like, it's just a joke, isn't it? It's just an absolute joke. At what point would they have actually done something about that? Like, if the guy would have come out with a baseball bat and whacked me across the head, would they have been bothered? Who knows? Guys, please share your stories down below if you've had the same experience. But they've just become a joke, haven't they, Just Eat?